I want to talk about an awesome brand experience that I recently had. You know, my family and I, with COVID, everything going on, we had to head out of Dodge. So we decided to go to Colorado and head west. And en route to Colorado, we had to take a little stop. We've been driving all day. It was around 6 o'clock. And where are we? Well, we're in Omaha. And we're hungry. So what better place to get a steak dinner than Omaha? So we took to Google. My wife looked up places and she found many different options, of one of which was Outback. And not to cast any aspersions on Outback by any means, we love Outback. But my wife did not want to go to a restaurant chain. We wanted that authentic Omaha high-end restaurant steak experience. So who did we find? Gilbert's. Now Gilbert's, their branding was so remarkable that it just left such an impression upon me. First of all, their brand identity is all about having a unique steak experience, what they tout as the best restaurant in Omaha. And so when we went to their website, what we saw as a tagline for them was Gilbert's wood-fired steak. I have a little friend here. And wood-fired steak and seafood. So that was their tagline. So now in their brand, they have a differentiation. Branding must differentiate. What makes you different? What makes you unique? The other thing about their name is, number one, it's named after an individual with a very good reputation. Gilbert is known as a mentor. He's known as someone that takes care of his employees. He's known as an expert restaurateur, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. The other little nuance of the name is that his first name isn't J-A-Y, it's J period Gilbert. Notice the little difference. Joe is his actual name, but you notice how J Gilbert sounds a little more distinguished than Joe Gilbert? It's all branding. Branding is an expectation of an experience, and they fulfilled this to the T. When we went there, first of all, actually before we got there, as we were looking on Google, as we're looking at the website, the first question they ask is, are you new to the Capital District? Well, in Omaha, there's this district, and it has restaurants around this square, and you can rent e-bikes, and it's just a really neat ambiance. And they ask you if you're new there. So what they're doing is they're taking that brand identity of having a unique steak experience, and they're positioning it to the target. So that's what brand positioning is. So here we are, we're travelers, they're hitting us right off of the freeway. Oh, you're new here, well, come to our restaurant. It's gonna be the best experience you'll find in Omaha. I'm gonna tell you, it was. That is the best steak dinner that I've ever had, and my wife, she agrees. So they fulfilled their expectation. It reminds me of what Steve Jobs said about the definition of a brand. He says that a brand is what people say about you when you leave the room. I'll tell you, I can't wait if I can ever get a chance to go back to this restaurant. It was amazing. So what they did was they fulfilled their brand promise, and when you fulfill your brand promise, people start to talk about you. They had over 400 reviews on Google, and they came out at about 4.8, the best reviews out of any restaurant. And here's the kicker. We get done eating at this place and we're just so overwhelmed by the experience that we decide to look into it a little more, and we find out that they were and are a chain, a restaurant chain. We thought that they were the only restaurant named Gilbert's in the United States. So happens they are a chain. So what they did was they gave us an experience that was represented through their brand, and it provided just a perfect example of how branding is done right.